What does everyone want in their home? Cleanliness, peace, and a happy family. This is what I also wanted. But when I cleaned up my house and gave myself a fresh start, my mother-in-law mistook me for a maid. Not only this, gradually she also started misunderstanding me. I thought I would be a partner in this house, but instead of understanding my hard work and dedication, she just kept seeing me as a working woman. Is this my had to be recognized? I remember well when I got married. I left my parents' house and went to my husband's house, i.e. my in-laws' house. There was a little nervousness and a lot of hope in the heart. A new chapter of life was about to begin, and I was sure that this journey was going to be wonderful for me. But when I saw the condition of the house, I could not understand anything. As soon as I stepped into my in-laws' house, the first thing I looked at was around the house. The kitchen, which I had always seen to be clean and organized, was lying in disarray. The bedroom and dining area were also not decorated properly, and I was a bit shocked to see all this. The thought came to my mind, what is this? I expected an organized and clean house. Somehow she smiled at her husband and said, after our marriage, we both have to work together to take this house in the right direction. My husband nodded, and I thought maybe he would understand why this was important. But as soon as I talked to my mother-in-law about the situation at home, she got furious. What do you want to do? He asked me, let it be as it is. It's fine, you don't need to interfere much. I told her calmly, Mom, I just want the house to be a little organized so that we all can have a comfortable and pleasant environment. But in my mother-in-law's eyes all this seemed unnecessary. Still, I did not give up and started cleaning the house myself. Cleaned the kitchen, decorated it, repainted the bedroom walls, and put some comfortable furniture in the dining area. I got a lot of satisfaction in arranging every corner of the house, but still my mother-in-law's anger did not go away. There was only one thought in my mind, do I have to do all this to get my place recognized in the house? Despite all this, I never gave up. I tried everything to better myself and my family. But it seemed that my mother-in-law was not liking all this. After my efforts, there were some changes in the house, but in the eyes of my mother-in-law, I was still the same, new daughter-in-law, who had no understanding of her rights. She was busy in household chores every day, yet she never received any praise from her mother-in-law. Every time whatever I did was not right in their eyes. It seemed that she was completely dissatisfied with me. One day, another big change took place in the house. The financial situation of the house was not going well. There were some problems with my husband's job, and we faced a little financial trouble. I knew that controlling household expenses should be our priority at this time. Meanwhile, a thought came to my mind. I had done sewing and embroidery work since childhood. I thought, if I use this skill, I can not only meet the needs of the household, but it can also earn us a little extra money. I talked to my mother-in-law about this and told her that I wanted to start tailoring. Mother-in-law took it very lightly. Will you also do something? All this housework is not for you, you keep doing what you are doing. I felt very sad to hear this taunt from him. But I thought, if I want to do something, I have to make my own path. I fixed a small corner in the house for sewing and started my work there. In the beginning, my mother-in-law would taunt me, do you really think you can do anything by sewing? His words gave me even more strength. I had decided that I would give life to this house with my hard work. Gradually, my handcrafted clothes and designing of clothes started becoming popular. Now I started earning some money along with doing sewing work for the house. This not only boosted my confidence, but my hard work taught me that if you are determined to do something, no difficulty can stop you. But my mother-in-law's anger increased further. Now they started feeling that I proved myself along with handling the responsibilities of the house. Although she never appreciated me directly, seeing her displeasure made me understand that perhaps she was afraid that one day I would make a name for myself in this house. During this time, my husband also slowly started understanding my work. He saw what I was doing and appreciated the hard work I put into it. But my relationship with my mother-in-law was becoming strained day by day. I tried to make changes in every part of the house, but I faced resistance at every step. My sewing shop was now slowly growing, and the situation at home was also getting better. Now, instead of anger, there was a slightly silent expression on the mother-in-law's face. She didn't say anything, but her silent eyes told me a lot. I had realized that any change in the house, no matter how good, was never going to be liked by my mother-in-law. She always wanted me to listen to her silently, without any questions. But it was not easy. It had now become so important for me to prove myself that I did not care about anyone's opposition. I devoted myself completely to improving the condition of the house. Now I took my mother-in-law's anger as a challenge. My hard work and dedication had impressed the rest of the family to some extent, but there was no way for me to make a place in my mother-in-law's heart. One day my mother-in-law called me to talk secretly. I was looking at his face, in which lines of anger and dissatisfaction were clearly visible. He said to me, "No matter how many times you tell me to improve the house, your efforts will still never succeed. Everything was fine as it was before." I was deeply hurt after hearing this, but I kept myself calm. I knew that if I showed anger in front of her at this time, she would become even more negative. I said softly, "Mom, I know you don't like my efforts, but what I am doing is only for the welfare of this family." Mother-in-law's face became even more stern. He didn't say anything, just turned his face away. Seeing this made me realize that perhaps I would never be able to get their complete acceptance. But I still continued my work. I knew that if I wanted to prove myself, I would have to work hard. But my efforts to bring about some change in the situation at home resulted in further bitterness in my mother-in-law's behavior. Most of the time at home she would not talk to me, and whenever she did say something, it would be taunts. Still I did not give up, and took my work more seriously. At the same time, my husband was also watching my efforts, but he too did not say anything. I felt that he was also under the influence of his mother-in-law somewhere. However, now I had a job of my own, and this was giving me the strength to be self-reliant. The financial situation at home was beginning to change, and slowly, I began to realize that maybe my hard work was paying off. But my fight with my mother-in-law was not over. Now he started fearing that if I made my place in this house, she could challenge him any time. I had lost my respect in her eyes, and she now looked at me as of nonsense. My efforts have never reached them, and perhaps it will always be so. By now I had changed a lot. Cleaned every corner of the house, revamped the kitchen, and tried to improve everyone's habits. But mother-in-law's anger and dissatisfaction did not end. He always hated me, and considered me nothing more than a maid. Although the condition of the house was changing, there was no sign of changing the mother-in-law's thinking. One day, I returned from the market with some things, and saw my mother-in-law sitting in her room, her face flushed with anger. I slowly looked at her and said, "Mom, what happened? Are you okay?" He looked at me and replied sternly, "Why don't you understand that it won't help you? It's useless to try to change the house. I liked it better when everything was the way it was." I took a deep breath and said, "Mom, I'm just trying to run this house well. This family is most important to me. If it's a crime to make the house better, that's fine, but I'll never give it up." The mother-in-law did not say anything else in anger, she just turned her face away. I thought that maybe my mother-in-law would never understand my hard work, but still I was not going to give up. My husband had also started understanding my hard work to some extent. He used to help in some way or the other, but because of his mother-in-law he was not able to provide full support. Still I decided to make myself more self-reliant. I had increased my sewing work more than ever before. Now I was getting some satisfaction about my sewing shop, but the tension with my mother-in-law continued at home. Everything was changing in the house, except the mother-in-law. There was no one who was happy. I was beginning to realize that perhaps despite my hard work, I would never be fully accepted by my mother-in-law. But still I was not going to stop. I had decided to follow this path, and I had now made it my identity. One day I suddenly got a big shock. My mother-in-law taunted me once, but this time her taunt was different. She said, "You think you can keep the house in order? Not everything happens like you do. Look, no matter what, you have only one job to do: keep the house in order, nothing else." His words shook me to my core. She would never understand me, but did that mean I had to give up on my hard work? Should I have given up my path despite their hatred and taunts? No. I was proud of my identity and my work. My efforts to bring changes in the house were continuing. Now it had become a habit to listen to mother-in-law's taunts. But I knew that eventually this struggle would teach me something. The more work I did, the more I started believing in myself. Despite my hard work and struggle, there was no change in my mother-in-law's heart, but I thought that maybe someday I could show this family that the strength of the house does not come from outside, but from within. The power that gives life to the house is not the one who only respects the elders, but the one who has faith in her work in any situation and never gives up. Till now I had faced a lot of struggle. My self-confidence had been tested due to the situation at home and listening to my mother-in-law's taunts. But one thing I learned was that if you believe in yourself, you can overcome any difficulty. Now the condition of the house was better than before. The kitchen, bedroom, and dining area had all received a facelift. The house was clean and orderly. But mother-in-law had hatred towards any change. Every time I corrected something, she became even more angry with me. I now understood that my mother-in-law was not angry with me, but because of her inner insecurities and changes. One day, a big change happened. Another problem came to the house. The family was facing a major financial crisis. We were all nervous. But this time I was completely prepared. I had decided to use all my strength to improve the situation at home. I now had a job as a tailor from which I could earn some money. I expanded my work and very soon we came out of the financial crisis. My husband also started realizing my hard work and strength. He started helping me more than before. His anger and his mother-in-law's favor had now subsided a little. I understood that I had not only changed the condition of the house but also of myself. But mother-in-law still had not changed completely. Then one day, an incident changed my thinking even further. Mother-in-law said to me, "You fixed the house, but have you also understood my respect and feelings?" I kept quiet. I felt that my mother-in-law had slowly started understanding my hard work and struggle, although it was a little late. But perhaps this was the time when I felt a positive step from his side for the first time. For me this was just the beginning. Along with taking care of the house, I was also taking care of myself. My hard work and struggle were now paying off. The tension between my mother-in-law and me had reduced somewhat, but had not completely ended. Still, I realized that I had now reached a point where I recognized myself. Now mother-in-law started realizing that she could consider me not just a daughter-in-law, but an important part of the family. She slowly started learning from me. What I did was not just for the sake of the house, but also for the sake of our relationship. My hard work had started closing the distance between us. This whole experience taught me that sometimes it is through struggle and difficulties that you realize your true strength. Sometimes you have to struggle silently to prove yourself, and in the end you definitely get success. I now knew that it was important to fight and bring about change for my self-respect and the well-being of my family. I was now proud of my identity, and I also realized that with hard work everyone can fulfill their dreams, be it mother-in-law, daughter-in-law, or anyone else. This was my story, of a daughter-in-law who was once considered a maid, but through her struggle and hard work she changed the fate of her house and family.